Snapchat. I live at the Plaza Hotel, which is huge and wonderful and très elegant, especially at
Christmas. This guy made it back on the scene again for a couple things. Now, number one, I want everybody who's listening to me, if you are on Twitter, this dude, Ian Miles Chong, he is nothing but a grifter. He lives somewhere outside in Indonesia, Malaysia, somewhere, and he always has something to say about America. All right? Dude, focus where you are, okay? Like, we don't need, he's an infiltrate, okay? And a liar. He's a grifter, all right? Dylan Mulvaney, the latest recipient of Forbes 30 under 30 list, is now pretending to be a 6-year-old girl. This is old footage. I understand that the news cycle is kind of slow right now for petty news, but dude, don't make up new things. Anyway,
when I was experiencing like an extreme amount of hate earlier this year, I started to shut down and I stopped using my voice, and I was like, I'm just going to get really pretty and that will, keep me successful, and I'm just going to stay quiet because, I don't want to be experiencing this vitriol anymore. And what I realized was it made me like kind of like a shallower version of myself, when in reality, like, my voice is my most powerful.
Okay, so Dylan, you are nothing but a shallower version. You're just shallow. Like, stop. You don't even know who you are. Stop this, all right? Like, let's stop this right now.
Today wasn't supposed to be a crying day. Why do I always feel like crying? Why do I always feel like crying?
This is what people think, that a woman is a woman who just, a person who just sits there and cry all day long. It's so narcissistic. It's delusional. It is absolutely delusional. Reality enthusiast is right. It's about a global agenda to reduce humanity to a single sexless slave class of commodified meat puppets, aka transhumanism. Snap out of it. Absolutely is. It is. There's actually reports of, there's this clinic I heard Chris Russo talking about in Detroit, where they take the black kids and they quick edit, you guys. I had to make sure that I gave you the right information. And as I was editing this video, I noticed that I kind of merged two stories at the same time about the clinic in Detroit and the surgery I was getting ready to tell you guys about. So the clinic in Detroit that is providing LGBTQ services for Black folk is called the Ruth Ellis Center. And you see, it's nothing but a bunch of really mostly minorities and stuff when you look at this right here, their homepage. And what they claim to be doing is helping Black people to wake up, who we are. Our mission is to create opportunities, young LGBT groups or whatever. And so all you see is mostly Black people. Now, this is in Detroit. And so you have a lot of kids who already have issues, period. Adolescents already have issues with being insecure and growing into themselves and figuring out who they are. Now, if you take a poor adolescent, and I'm not saying that all Black people are poor, of course not, but we know where Detroit is. We know how Detroit looks. And they're dealing with maybe the broken family or a bunch of crime in the neighborhood, all kinds of other trauma in their environment. It will give them anxiety. And instead of people working on exactly what's causing this, maybe they miss their father or mother, maybe they're tired of hearing certain things outside in the streets, they tell them that you feel this way, you feel unsure of yourself because you're in the wrong body. So that's what this place does. And they're making buku bucks off of a bunch of confused Black kids. I was saying that they did this surgery over at the Ruth Ellis Center, but they don't. The Ruth Ellis Center is going to provide these lost souls with poisons to confuse them and change their hormones, or they're going to give them, find places for them to get surgeries so that they can have the substitution expression body that will never mean that they are the other gender. Nullification creates a relatively continuous and mostly unbroken transition from abdomen down into the genitalia, enabling gender non-conforming patients to feel empowered and confident in their new bodies. Everything is just smooth, null and void. There's nothing there. Trigger warning, I'm going to show you a picture of post-surgery. That's what it would look like, okay? So, and this picture is not even, like, I don't have to blur anything out because literally it's just skin, and there's this Foley and skin. This is creating monsters. Never mind the lies that we're creating when we tell people that they could be the other sex. Now we're just completely erasing people and who they are and their identities as a person, completely making them null and void. This is why people like Dylan Mulvaney make me sick, because they're the face of normalizing abomination. Back to the video. This is what they're doing with people. And so they have to glamorize it. They have to make it look normal. And This is why this guy, he started off with a grift, and this is why they took him, and they don't let go of him fully. They still pull on him when they need to go with their lie. It's very dangerous too. It's very dangerous. There's a lot of kids taking a lot of medications and showing up at the psych hospital, but we can't discuss why they're hearing voices and say maybe it's the meds because that's hate. No, it's not hate. It's the truth. There's side effects to everything. We're just schlepping out these meds to kids and destroying children before they even have a chance. That's why when I look at somebody like Dylan Mulvaney, I get totally disgusted because, like he says, he peddles a lie of trans people. It is a lie. Nobody can make themselves the other sex, period. I'll see you guys at the next video. Bye.